God says, good news. God has decided to finish all your financial worries, to lift the burdens from your heart, and to walk beside you in every step forward, but only if you choose to believe this message in time. This isn't a message of chance or coincidence, it is a gentle whisper from heaven, reaching into your life with a promise that can transform everything. If you're reading this, it means your heart was called to it. Comment 1111 to affirm this blessing now, because God's timing is never late, and today is filled with His purpose for you. There are moments in life when everything feels heavy, when bills pile up like waves, and the worry of tomorrow keeps you from resting tonight. It feels like you're standing alone in the middle of a storm, praying that something, anything, will change. But today, God is telling you that He has heard your quietest cries, seen the struggles you never voiced, and counted every tear you've tried to hide from the world. He has not forgotten you, and He never will. God's love is not bound by numbers in a bank account, nor is His provision limited by what the world says is possible. He creates paths where none exist. He opens doors no one can shut. You may have felt surrounded by lack, by closed doors, by months of anxiety, but He is not finished writing your story. The same God who fed thousands with just a few loaves and fish is the same God watching over your home. And when He says He will provide, He will, more abundantly than you could ever imagine. There is something sacred about trusting Him even when your hands feel empty. It's in that trust that miracles begin to unfold. When you say, Lord, I don't know how, but I trust you, heaven begins to move. The weight on your chest begins to lift, and peace that makes no sense starts to fill your heart. Because God's promises are not temporary fixes, they are eternal truths. And He has never once failed in keeping His word. Right now, you may be standing at the edge of doubt, wondering if this promise is for you, if this message really carries God's love for your specific life. Let this be your answer: yes, it does. This message is your sign that something is about to change. There is no limit to what God can do for the one who believes. You are not too late. You are not forgotten. You are exactly where He needs you to be in this moment, to receive what only He can give. There is something beautiful about surrendering your fear and saying, Lord, I let go. I give it to you. In that moment, heaven draws closer. Your heart softens, and God begins to pour healing into the broken places. He knows how long you've tried to hold everything together. He knows the sacrifices you've made, the dreams you've buried, and the nights you've gone to sleep feeling defeated. And now, He is whispering into your life, it's time. It's time for peace. It's time for rest. It's time for provision. Comment, I love Jesus, if you truly feel His presence right now. You may not understand how it will happen. You may not see the path. But the miracle is already on its way. Sometimes, it arrives quietly, like an unexpected opportunity, a sudden kindness, a door that once seemed closed forever. Sometimes it arrives with a peace so deep that even if the world around you hasn't changed yet, your heart already knows it's coming. That is faith, and faith moves mountains. He is the God who brings water out of dry ground, who speaks to the storm and makes it still, who wraps His arms around you even when you feel unworthy. There is no wound too deep, no debt too high, no fear too loud for His love to overcome. He is your provider, your shepherd, your helper, your Father. And He is preparing something new for you, something greater than what was lost, something better than what was broken. You are not meant to carry this burden alone. Let go of the fear that tells you you'll never get ahead. Let go of the lie that says you're stuck. Let go of the voice that whispers you'll never be enough. That's not God speaking. God speaks life. He says you are His. You are chosen. You are covered. And today, He's telling you, your financial worries are coming to an end. Believe this with your whole heart. Declare it over your life. Let His truth drown out every fear and every doubt. You are walking into a new season, not because of luck, but because of His love. The days ahead are filled with breakthroughs you didn't expect. You will look back and realize this was the turning point, not because everything made sense, but because you decided to believe. So take this moment. Take a breath. Let this message settle in your spirit like a warm light. Hold on to it, even when the night tries to return. God is working. Even when you can't see it, even when you're tired, even when it feels like nothing is changing. He is moving in your life right now. You are not alone in this. He is right beside you. He has watched you give your best even when no one noticed. He has seen the weight you've carried and how deeply you've longed for a break, a chance, a way forward. If you've opened your heart to this moment, it's because He wants to remind you, you are not forgotten. Comment 1010 if you believe in God's strength. There is something deeply powerful about the way God moves in silence. While the world rushes and worries, God works behind the scenes, shifting things, arranging divine appointments, and setting miracles into motion. Sometimes the breakthrough doesn't arrive with fanfare or loud signs. Sometimes, it slips in gently, like peace in the middle of chaos, or a quiet sense that things are finally about to change. That's the kind of change God is sending your way right now. A rare 7-second morning ritual that was hidden in CIA files is now reappearing, and people are already reporting rapid financial breakthroughs. It takes almost no time, yet it activates a dormant wealth switch in the brain that most never unlock. Click the link in the description and comments now. Access it before it disappears. You have been stretched thin for too long. You've juggled responsibilities with tired hands, kept faith alive when it felt like hope was slipping through your fingers, and smiled through pain because giving up was never an option. And God is proud of you. Not for being perfect, but for staying. For trusting. For holding on when everything inside you was screaming to let go. He sees the tears you've cried in the dark and the prayers you've whispered when no one else could hear. Those prayers didn't fall into silence. They rose like incense and touched His heart. God knows how heavy the pressure of financial stress can be. It steals peace, disrupts sleep, and makes you question your worth. But you need to know something today: your worth has never been measured by what you have or don't have. You are not defined by the balance in your account or the number of times you've had to say, "Not this time." You are a child of God, deeply loved, fully seen, and never abandoned. He is not only a God of enough, He is the God of more than enough. He is the one who multiplied oil in jars when there was nothing left, who placed coins in the mouth of a fish, who turned scarcity into overflow. This is the same God who is standing beside you now. What feels impossible to you is easy for him. What feels distant is already being prepared. And when he decides it's time, no force on earth can delay it. You've walked through seasons where it felt like everyone else was being blessed but you. You've watched others move forward while you remained still, praying, hoping, waiting. And through it all, God has been building something within you: patience, character, strength, and a depth of faith that isn't shaken by circumstances. Because he knows that when the blessing comes, you will know how to carry it with grace. You will know how to honor him with what he's about to place in your hands. Comment, "I trust you, God," if you're ready to receive what he has prepared for you. This isn't just about money. It's about restoration. It's about healing parts of you that got tired from constantly scraping by. It's about lifting the fog of fear that's followed you and replacing it with clear skies. God is not only preparing to supply your needs, he's preparing to restore your joy. He wants to see you laugh again without worry. He wants you to wake up with peace instead of pressure. He wants you to move through your day knowing that he's got you, fully, completely, and without fail. You may not see the full picture yet, and that's okay. You don't need to know all the details to walk in faith. What you do need is to believe that God is not finished. He's not done writing your story. The pages ahead are not filled with more of the same struggle. They are filled with provision, answered prayers, open doors, and unexpected favor. And the beauty of God's love is that he knows exactly when to step in, and he's never late. You might start seeing small signs first: a debt reduced, a need met before you could even speak it, someone reaching out to help unexpectedly. Pay attention. These are not coincidences. These are the first drops of rain before the downpour of blessings. The shift has already begun. Don't doubt the small beginnings. That's often how God starts miracles, quietly but powerfully. Let yourself rest in him. Breathe. Release what you can't control. Hand over the fear, the doubt, and the anxiety. You were never meant to carry this alone. God is the one who provides for the birds of the sky and clothes the flowers of the field. How much more will he do for you, his beloved child? This is your time. The hard season is breaking. The morning is rising. You will see the fruit of all the seeds you've planted in faith. Every kind act, every faithful tithe, every sacrificial gift, every moment you chose to believe even when it didn't make sense, it's all being remembered. Heaven keeps perfect records, and God rewards faithfulness. You won't just survive, you will thrive. You will be able to help others in the same way you once needed help. You'll be the one who testifies about how God stepped in, how he made a way, how he changed everything. Because when God blesses, he doesn't do it halfway. He makes it known that it was his hand and his heart that brought it to pass. He knows. He sees. And he is moving. Comment, 23:23, if you believe that God is with you right now and always has been. There's a shift happening in the spiritual realm that you might not yet see with your eyes, but your spirit can already feel it. It's that gentle stirring deep inside that whispers, something is changing. God doesn't always make a loud entrance. Sometimes He moves like the soft wind, quiet but powerful, steady and sure. And when He declares that it's time for freedom, not even the strongest chains can remain. For so long, you've had to be strong for others. You've put on a brave face while silently carrying the fear of not having enough. You've learned to stretch every dollar, to go without so others could have, to smile through the struggle. But none of that went unnoticed. Heaven has witnessed every moment, and now, your obedience, your faith, and your persistence are being answered in ways that will leave you in awe. The breakthrough that's coming is not just about money. It's about healing the part of you that believed you had to struggle forever. It's about breaking the generational cycle of financial pain, about restoring your sense of worth, and about placing you on solid ground where you can finally breathe without fear. God is not offering a temporary solution. He is planting you in a new place where roots of peace, security, and hope can grow strong. What if wealth was always controlled by a hidden brain signal, buried in CIA files and never explained to the public? This frequency is now opening new paths, drawing opportunities, and changing lives faster than expected. Thousands are already using it to attract wealth like never before. Click the link in the description and comments now and activate the money-attracting brain wave today. Sometimes the hardest part of the journey is trusting that God hasn't forgotten you. When you've prayed and waited and given and sacrificed, it can feel like maybe you're just being overlooked. But you are not forgotten. Your prayers have been gathered like precious treasure. Your tears have been counted. Your name is spoken in heaven with deep love. God hasn't forgotten you, not for a moment. You may not feel strong, but you are brave. You may not feel prepared, but you are ready. And even if your faith is just a flicker right now, that is more than enough for God to work with. He doesn't require perfection, He simply asks you to trust. To take one more step forward, even if it's shaky. To open your heart just a little more, even if it's scared. To believe that He is who He says He is, a loving Father who provides for His children. Comment, God is always with me, if you felt Him near even in your lowest moments. Provision doesn't always look the way we expect. It might not arrive in the form of a huge check or a sudden windfall. It might come as peace, clarity, an idea, a connection, or an opportunity that opens a door you never thought possible. Don't miss the blessing because it looks different than you imagined. God's ways are higher. His timing is perfect. And His provision always carries the mark of eternity. This time, it won't slip through your fingers. This time, it won't be delayed. This time, you won't lose what God places in your hands. Because He is not just giving to you, He is preparing you to hold what's coming. He is stretching your faith, shaping your character, building your endurance so that when the blessing arrives, you won't fumble it in fear. You'll receive it with confidence, knowing it came straight from His heart. The worries that have kept you up at night are not going to follow you into this next season. The weight that's been crushing your chest will lift. The endless calculation of how to pay for this or cover that is coming to an end. You will step into days where you no longer dread opening the mailbox. Where you won't fear the phone ringing. Where your first thoughts in the morning won't be worry, but gratitude. And this isn't just about you. God is blessing you so you can be a blessing. You've dreamed of helping others, of giving freely, of being the one who says, "Don't worry, I've got it." Those dreams were planted in you by God. They weren't fantasies or wishful thinking. They were glimpses of your future. And now, the pieces are beginning to come together. He's aligning the right people, the right timing, and the right resources. The promise of God is not a maybe, it's a guarantee, written in love and signed by grace. And when God promises to finish your financial worries, it doesn't mean there won't be challenges, but it does mean you won't face them alone. It means that every challenge will have a solution. Every need will have an answer. Every cry will have a response. Because He is faithful. Always. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to carry the burden of making everything happen. You simply need to stay close to Him. Keep your heart open. Keep your spirit soft. Keep your mind fixed on His truth, not the lies of fear or the voices of doubt. What's ahead is far greater than what's behind. And the blessing is not just coming, it's already in motion. Let this message sink deep into your heart. Let it replace the heaviness with peace. Let it carry you through today and remind you that you're not forgotten, not overlooked, not abandoned. You are deeply loved, completely seen, and divinely provided for. Your breakthrough has already been written into God's plan for your life. What once felt impossible is now becoming your testimony in the making. Comment yes if you're ready to walk into a new beginning guided by His hands. You may have reached a place where it felt like your prayers were echoing into silence. Days when you looked up and asked, "How much longer, Lord?" Nights when sleep didn't come easily, and you stared at the ceiling trying to figure out how to stretch what little you had. But even in those moments, God was never far. He was closer than your breath, gently surrounding you with a love that doesn't falter, even when you feel lost. Your story isn't one of failure. It's one of faith. You're still here, still believing, still holding on even when life tried to push you down. And that strength? That endurance? That quiet, persistent hope inside you? It's beautiful in the eyes of God. He knows how much you've held together while everything around you felt like it was falling apart. You didn't break. You bent, you wept, you stumbled, but you stayed. And that is where God begins to build something new. Sometimes blessings don't come wrapped in big signs or instant results. They come softly, like a whisper that things are about to change. Like the peace that enters your heart for no logical reason. Like the small windows that open when you thought every door was shut. God is in those small moments. He works in the quiet, the unseen, the in-between. And right now, He's working for you. It might be hard to believe that something better is coming when all you've known is struggle. But that's where faith shines brightest, in the middle of uncertainty. That's when your heart whispers, "I still believe," and all of heaven listens. God is not asking you to fix everything. He's asking you to trust Him while He works it out. Because He is not only your provider, He is your Redeemer, your Restorer, and your peace. Comment, "Thank you God for everything," if your heart is still open to all that He is preparing. Deep inside your brain lies a small region tied to wealth and success, once buried in restricted studies and hidden in CIA files. This newly uncovered frequency is helping people replace financial pressure with ease, and God has led you to see this message now. Click the link in the description and comments to activate this hidden brain wave now. You are not a burden. Your needs are not too big. Your dreams are not too much. Everything you've been carrying is safe in the hands of God. He isn't just giving you a moment of relief, He is preparing a new foundation beneath your feet, one that won't crumble under pressure, one that will carry you and those you love into a season of provision, peace, and promise. He knows the depth of your heart. He knows the longing you feel to be able to give without hesitation, to bless others without checking your wallet, to finally breathe without the constant pressure of not having enough. That longing is not selfish, it's sacred. It's rooted in your desire to be a light for others. And God will honor it. He's not only healing your life, He's preparing you to be a vessel for His goodness. The shift may already be happening around you, even if you haven't noticed it yet. Maybe someone unexpected offered to help. Maybe you found a little extra where you didn't expect it. Maybe something small worked out just in time. These are seeds of what's to come. God works in layers. He unfolds blessings slowly, piece by piece, until suddenly, you look around and realize everything has changed. Don't be discouraged by slow beginnings. They are still beginnings. And with God, even the smallest shift can turn into a miracle. That little glimmer of hope you've been holding on to? It's not for nothing. It's proof that something inside you still knows the truth. God is faithful. He always has been, and He always will be. You've walked through the fire and didn't burn. You've stood in storms and didn't sink. You've faced days that felt like the end, and yet, you kept going. That is not weakness. That is courage. That is grace in motion. That is what happens when God holds you up even when everything else falls down. And now, He's leading you into a season where you don't have to fight so hard just to survive. God doesn't just fix problems. He rebuilds lives. He brings beauty from ashes, joy from mourning, and provision from what once looked like lack. You may not have seen the harvest yet, but the seeds you've planted in tears are beginning to bloom. The faith you've carried, the love you've shown, the hope you've clung to, it's all being multiplied. Don't rush the process. Stay close to God. Rest in His presence when anxiety rises. Let His promises quiet your heart when the world gets loud. You are not in this alone. Every step you take, He takes with you. Every fear you release, He catches. Every need you have, He already knows. You are surrounded by grace, and your story is unfolding exactly as it should. Provision is not just about money. It's about peace. It's about no longer feeling like you're drowning. It's about waking up with hope instead of dread. It's about knowing that God is ahead of you, beside you, and behind you, working all things together for your good. And in this moment, He's preparing something better than you've even imagined. There's still more ahead. More restoration. More joy. More open doors. This is not your final chapter. The best part of your story is still being written, and it's being written by the one who knows your heart better than anyone else. He is stepping into your situation with his mighty hand, not to patch things up temporarily, but to transform your life completely. If you've been praying for a sign, this is it. Comment 555 if you believe that God is your strength and that He is already working in your favor. There is something sacred about the moment when a soul chooses to believe again. Maybe you've been disappointed, maybe you've felt let down too many times, maybe the numbers never added up and the opportunities seem just out of reach. But God hasn't forgotten you. He was there during the months when you stretched what little you had just to make it through. He saw the times you pretended to be okay for the sake of others. He felt your silent cries for help when no one else could see your pain. You are not invisible to God. Every step you've taken in faith, every sacrifice you've made, every moment you've chosen to trust Him even with trembling hands, it's all known to Him. He never turns away from a heart that leans into Him. And now, the harvest of your faithfulness is beginning to grow. Even when it didn't make sense, you stayed. Even when it felt like nothing was changing, you prayed. Even when the doors stayed closed, you knocked again. And God remembers. The pain of financial lack is not just about money. It's about the fear of not being able to care for the people you love. It's about feeling like you're always behind, like you're chasing something you can never quite catch. It's about the guilt of saying no when all you want to do is say yes. But God is not the author of fear. He is the giver of peace, of comfort, of provision. And He is writing a new story for you, one where you are not defined by scarcity, but by grace. You don't have to earn God's blessing with perfection. You don't have to have it all figured out before He steps in. He blesses you because He loves you. Because you are His. Because no matter what has happened before, His mercy is new today. He's not looking at your bank account, He's looking at your heart. And He sees someone who has endured. Someone who has stayed faithful. Someone who hasn't given up. Comment, Jesus is my Savior, if you believe that your rescue is already unfolding. This is not the end for you, it's the beginning of something holy. Something deeper. Something stronger. You are being prepared for abundance, not because of luck, but because you've trusted God in the drought. You are about to walk into a season of refreshing, where the burdens are lifted, and your soul finds rest. Where you don't just survive, but finally live with joy again. A 7-second brain-wave ritual, once reserved for select individuals and hidden in CIA files, has now gone public, and people call it the 30-second miracle. Scientists say it activates a dormant brain center connected to wealth and blessings. Click the link in the comments below before it's deleted again from the internet. The door you've been waiting for is not just about money. It's about freedom. It's about peace of mind. It's about waking up without the knot in your stomach. It's about being able to give freely, love without fear, and live with the confidence that God truly is your provider. And He is. He always has been. Even in the dry seasons, He was sustaining you. Even in the silence, He was working behind the scenes. Now it's time for you to see with your own eyes what He's been preparing all along. Sometimes the enemy wants you to believe that because it's been hard for so long, it will always be hard. But that is a lie. God is not finished. Just because your past was filled with struggle doesn't mean your future will be. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are blessed, chosen, and favored. And what is coming will be so much greater than anything you've lost or lacked. He's not just answering one prayer, He's doing a complete restoration. You will see how things begin to align. You'll feel the peace that you haven't felt in years. You'll watch as things you thought were broken beyond repair are mended in ways only God could do. Your story is not over, it's about to bloom. Don't let the past steal your belief in what's ahead. Don't let today's delay convince you that God's promise is denied. What He spoke over your life is still alive. The promise hasn't expired. The blessing hasn't been cancelled. The season you've been praying for is approaching, and you are being made ready to receive it with open hands and a trusting heart. What you carry matters. Your faith, even when it's shaken, still has power. Your prayers, even when whispered through tears, are heard. Your dreams, even the ones you buried, are not gone, they're waiting for the light God is about to shine on them. This season of waiting has not been wasted. God has used it to strengthen you, to shape your spirit, to prepare you for what's next. You are stepping into days where the weight will lift, where what once felt impossible will feel natural, and where peace will no longer feel like a stranger. You won't be anxious every time a bill comes due. You won't wonder how much longer you can keep going. Because God is showing up, not just with answers, but with overflow. With more than enough. With joy that doesn't end when circumstances change. Hold on, because the tide is turning. Keep your heart soft, your eyes lifted, and your faith anchored. Let every doubt fall away. Let every fear dissolve in the presence of His promise. The breakthrough is not a dream. It's a real, living promise from a God who never lies. I have watched as you smiled for others while silently praying for help. Your faith, even when it was hanging by a thread, has moved my heart. Comment yes if you believe that your new beginning is already unfolding. You've been walking through a valley, one where the shadows of fear and scarcity tried to convince you that you'd never rise again. But child, this valley is not your home. You were never meant to stay there. It was only a path, one that led you closer to me. Through it, I have refined your spirit, drawn your heart near to mine, and now, I am leading you into wide open fields, where blessings will not just visit but dwell with you. I know how often you've been quiet about your needs. I know how much strength it has taken to remain kind and faithful while your heart was weary. Others may not have known how deep your struggles ran, but I always knew. You don't have to explain yourself to me, I was there in every moment. When you stood at the kitchen counter with your head bowed in exhaustion. When you stared at your bank balance and took a deep breath, saying, "Lord, I trust you anyway." I saw it all, and I honor that faith. You haven't missed your blessing. You haven't run out of time. What I'm preparing for you hasn't been given to someone else. It's still yours. I'm not late, and I'm not finished. This next season isn't just about solving problems, it's about rewriting the atmosphere of your life. You are going to breathe again without fear. You're going to rest without panic. You're going to step forward without the weight of "what if." Comment, God is my strength to embrace what I am about to pour into your life. This new chapter is not about just getting by, it's about abundance with purpose. Not so you can show off, not so you can say you've arrived, but so you can live the life I've always wanted for you. A life where you're not afraid to open the mail. A life where your giving flows with joy. A life where you don't have to pretend anymore, because peace has taken the place of pressure. And as I bless you, your hands will become a source of blessing for others. What once caused you to cry will become the very testimony that brings others to me. You will comfort those who are where you once were. You'll speak life to the hurting and courage to the weary. You'll remember how hard it was and how I carried you, and you'll tell them that I can carry them too. The financial struggle has not only been about lack. It has tested your identity, your confidence, your trust. But through it all, I've been whispering one truth over and over again: you are not your bank account. You are not your bills. You are not your debt. You are my beloved, and I have never stopped providing, even when it seemed invisible. There were times when your breakthrough was closer than you thought, and you held on, even without knowing. That's what faith does, it holds on in the silence. It doesn't need to see the full picture. It just says, I know my God, and I know He will come through. That kind of faith moves mountains. That kind of faith opens the windows of heaven. A little-known 7-second morning ritual that was hidden in CIA files is resurfacing, and people are already experiencing rapid financial breakthroughs. It takes only moments to perform, yet it activates a dormant wealth center in the brain most people never tap into. Click the link in the description and comments now. Access it before it disappears. You have that kind of faith. You've walked through fire, but the flames didn't consume you. You've walked through storms, but they didn't drown you. And now, you're about to walk into provision that will not only restore what was lost, but exceed it. I will not just replace what you lacked. I will multiply it. I will bless you in such a way that even you will ask, how did this happen so fast? Because I'm not bound by time, child. I'm not limited by earthly systems. I move according to my purpose, and my purpose for you is overflowing with hope, healing, and joy. When you look back on this season, you will not remember the pain more than you remember my faithfulness. The tears you cried will be answered by laughter. The places where you felt ashamed will be places where you shine the brightest. Let your heart rest in me. Let go of trying to figure it all out. You've carried it long enough. You've tried to be strong, but you don't have to hold it together anymore. Give it to me. All of it. The worry, the debt, the fear, the pressure, I can take it. I already have. You were never meant to carry it alone. I am your provider, your comforter, your father, and I will not let you fall. Comment, thank you God for your guidance and protection, if you believe that He's been with you every step of the way. The miracles are coming. Some will be big. Some will be quiet. But all will be wrapped in love. You will recognize them by the peace they bring. You'll know they came from me because they will feel like home. And as the days unfold, you will see that I was always working, even when you couldn't see it. This message is not a coincidence. It's a confirmation. You are about to rise. The chains are off. The way is opening. And I am walking you into something so beautiful, so perfectly timed, that you'll say, only God could have done this. That kind of faith is rare, and I treasure it more than you know. Comment 222 if you are prepared to receive what I am preparing just for you. You may not have seen it yet, but the shift has already begun. I've been moving things in places you cannot see. The doors that once remained shut are unlocking. The paths that seemed blocked are clearing. The help you've been needing is already on its way. This is not wishful thinking or a vague hope. This is my promise to you: I will provide. I always have, and I always will. I understand how weary your heart has grown. Financial pressure is more than just numbers, it reaches deep into the soul. It tries to steal your peace, your sleep, your joy. But it will not win. Because I am greater. I am stronger. And I am speaking over your life right now, telling you that your struggle is not your future. There are moments in your life that I've used to shape your strength. You thought they were delays, but they were preparation. You thought they were disappointments, but they were redirections. I was not punishing you, I was preparing you. Because what I'm bringing into your life now requires a strong foundation. And now, you are ready. Comment, Jesus is my everything, if you believe He is all you need. Your days of scraping by, of constantly checking and rechecking if you can afford something simple, are coming to an end. You've learned to live with less, but I never meant for you to stay there. I'm bringing you into a season where you'll live with peace, with security, with more than enough, not so you can boast, but so you can rest. So you can bless others the way you've always wanted to. So you can breathe without the pressure pressing down on your chest. You've carried burdens for others, gone without so someone else could have, stayed silent about your needs because you didn't want to be a burden. I saw all of it. And not one moment was wasted. You were planting seeds every time you gave out of love. Every time you smiled while your heart was breaking. Every time you trusted me even when the numbers didn't make sense. Those seeds are about to bloom. Provision doesn't always come in the way you expect. Sometimes it's through a friend you never thought would call. Sometimes it's through a job that opens at just the right time. Sometimes it's through a peace so overwhelming that you suddenly realize you've stopped worrying. These are all my ways. I'm not limited by what you can imagine. I go beyond. The breakthrough that's coming isn't a trickle, it's a wave. It's going to wash away the heaviness and bring clarity where there was confusion. You'll start seeing things align effortlessly. The no you received last month will turn into a yes that makes more sense than you ever hoped for. The opportunity you thought passed you by was actually being saved for the perfect moment. My timing is always perfect. And though you may feel like you've waited too long, I promise, it will all be worth it. Because I don't do anything halfway. When I restore fully. When I bless abundantly. When I move, it's undeniable. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. You are right where you need to be to receive what I've prepared for you. This message didn't find you by accident. It's my whisper to your heart that everything is about to change. You'll soon see the evidence. Small things at first, a call, an unexpected deposit, a worry that disappears before it even settles. Don't overlook those moments. They are signs of the shift. Let them remind you that I am near, that I'm already working. And when fear tries to creep back in, because it will, remember who you are. You are my child. You are loved beyond measure. You are surrounded by angels, guided by grace, and protected by my hand. There is no room for fear in a heart that trusts. So trust, even when it's hard. Trust, even when it's quiet. Trust, even when the answer hasn't shown up yet. What if wealth was never based on luck, but on a hidden brain signal that stayed buried in CIA files? This powerful frequency is now opening doors, attracting new opportunities, and transforming lives quickly. Thousands are already using it to attract wealth in ways they never imagined. Click the link in the description and comments now and activate the money-attracting brain wave today. Your past does not disqualify you. The mistakes you've made do not cancel my plan. I've woven it all into a story that's more beautiful than anything you could imagine. One day, you'll look back and understand why it had to take this path, because the version of you that's coming out of this is wiser, stronger, more compassionate, and deeply rooted in me. Rest now. You don't have to fight to earn this blessing. It's not about proving anything. It's about receiving it with a heart open to love, with hands ready to carry peace instead of pressure. I'm not just sending provision, I'm sending peace. I'm not just solving problems, I'm healing wounds. I'm not just blessing your finances, I'm restoring your joy. There will come a day very soon where you'll wake up and realize the weight you've carried has been lifted. The heaviness in your chest will be replaced with laughter. The dread of looking at your finances will turn into gratefulness for the overflow. And when you speak, others will hear the calm in your voice and know, God did something incredible in your life. You are stepping into a season of relief, of gentle peace, of quiet abundance, not earned through perfection but given through love. Comment, "Thank you, Lord, for all the blessings in my life," if you know this message has reached your heart at the perfect time. For so long, you've been walking through each day with strength that few can see. You've carried burdens that were never yours to carry alone. You've stayed strong for others while your own heart was growing weary. You've been the one to encourage, to give, to pour out, even when no one noticed how empty you were inside. But I noticed. And now, I'm refilling you. The weariness you feel is not weakness. It is the sign of someone who has kept walking even when the path was unclear, even when the nights were long, even when the road felt endless. You may have felt like giving up, but you didn't. And that matters more than you know. Because I've been walking beside you, through every moment of silence, through every unanswered question, through every tear you've wiped away when no one else was looking. You're not invisible to me. I have heard every quiet prayer, especially the ones you whispered when you thought no one was listening. I've seen you put your trust in me when everything in the natural told you to be afraid. I've seen you give your last to help someone else. And I've counted it all as precious. Comment, yes, if you trust that God has always been watching over your life. What's coming is not just relief from financial strain. It's restoration of your soul. It's the lifting of the emotional weight that's been silently sitting on your chest. It's clarity where confusion used to be. It's direction where there was once only hesitation. I am going before you, making the way straight, making the crooked paths smooth, and I'm doing it because I love you, not because you've earned it, but because I've chosen you. I know it's been hard to keep believing. You've heard promises before, and life didn't always reflect what you hoped for. But this is different. This isn't a wish, this is a word from me. And my word never returns void. What I speak, I fulfill. What I start, I finish. And what I bless, no one can curse. This is the part of your story where things begin to shift. It may not come all at once, but you will feel it. You'll notice that what used to feel heavy starts to feel lighter. You'll begin to recognize my hand in places you never thought to look before. People will begin showing up who speak life into you. Opportunities will begin to appear that once felt impossible. And through it all, you will remember, I kept my promise. I'm not just coming to meet your needs, I'm coming to exceed them. I'm coming to remind you that you are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are right on time, because my time is perfect. The delay you felt has not been denial, it's been divine alignment. I've been putting things in order so that when you receive what I'm sending, it will not fall apart. And no, it won't look like what others receive. Your path is your own, and the way I bless you will be just as unique as your journey. That's why you felt like you didn't quite fit in at times, because I wasn't preparing you for a common life. I was setting you apart for something greater, something deeper, something more meaningful. And now, the time has come for you to step into that. You will no longer be defined by what you lacked. You will no longer feel shame when you think about the past. I'm not bringing up old pain, I'm healing it. I'm not reminding you of old struggles, I'm breaking their power. You are free. You are loved. You are being led into a place where your soul can breathe again. The answers you've been waiting for are already moving toward you. You won't have to chase them. You won't have to force them. They will arrive at just the right moment, and when they do, your heart will know, this is God. And you'll rest in it, not with anxiety, but with peace. You'll sleep better. You'll smile easier. You'll begin to dream again, not just for survival, but for joy. Let go of the worry that clings so tightly to your chest. I know you've been strong for so long, but now is the time to surrender. You're not surrendering to defeat, you're surrendering to grace. You're giving me the space to do what only I can do. You're releasing what was never yours to carry alone. And when you do, I'll take it. Gladly. Willingly. Lovingly. Inside your brain exists a small region connected to wealth and success, once buried in restricted research and hidden in CIA files. This newly revealed frequency is helping people replace financial stress with ease and stability, and God has guided you to see this at the right time. Click the link in the description and comments to activate this hidden brain wave now. You don't have to prove anything to me. I already know your heart. I already see the goodness within you, even when you can't see it yourself. You're not too broken. You're not too far gone. You're mine. And that means you are safe, you are chosen, and you are covered. What's ahead is not only brighter, it's blessed. And as you move forward, you'll begin to see just how many things I've been protecting you from, even when you didn't realize it. I've been shielding you, guiding you, preparing you. And now, you are stepping into a season where your prayers turn into praise, your worries turn into testimonies, and your heart turns toward joy. You don't have to live in survival mode anymore. My peace is coming into your life like a river, and with it comes the freedom to finally exhale. Comment, God is great, if you believe that your breakthrough has already begun. You've learned how to be content with little, how to stretch what you have, how to smile even when your heart felt overwhelmed. But I never intended for you to live exhausted by anxiety or to wake up each day weighed down by financial fear. I saw the countless times you wanted to give but couldn't. I know the times you stood in line, calculating every item, trying to hide the shame of lack. But I was standing with you. I didn't leave you in those quiet battles, I was right there, holding you up. You didn't go through that season in vain. Every moment you stayed faithful, every time you chose to believe, every time you whispered, God, I trust you, even when nothing made sense, planted something deep in your spirit. You were never going backward. You were being rooted. And now that root is about to produce fruit. You won't just be restored, you'll be renewed. I don't just return what was lost, I bring something greater in its place. The burden that made your chest feel heavy, that made it hard to breathe sometimes, is already being lifted. The weight of debt, fear, shame, and the constant pressure to hold it all together is no match for my power. You don't have to carry that weight any longer. You're stepping into a time where you'll look around and see peace in places that once brought you stress. Comment, I love Jesus, if you believe he has never left your side. This is a time of rebuilding. But not the kind of rebuilding that feels like work or pressure. This rebuilding is different, it's rooted in grace, guided by peace, and led by my hand. You're not rebuilding alone. You don't have to have all the answers or make everything perfect. I'm guiding you with every step. I'm sending wisdom, provision, and people who will pour into you the same way you've poured into others. You've given from places that were nearly empty, and now, I am filling you up. I'm not just talking about finances, I'm talking about joy. About peace. About energy in your bones and laughter that comes without effort. I'm talking about waking up excited again. About trusting that there will be enough. About opening your hands without fear of what tomorrow holds. The wounds that came from lack are real. They're not just emotional, they sit deep, affecting how you see yourself, how you move, how you speak. But I am healing those places. You won't always brace for disappointment. You won't always wait for the next hit to come. I am calming your nervous system, restoring your confidence, and teaching your heart to feel safe again. Yes, safe. That's what I want for you, to feel safe in me. To know that you're covered. That you're held. That your needs are seen and your future is secure. That you won't be left scrambling, not again. What I'm doing in your life now is permanent. It's not a temporary rescue. It's a new foundation. Watch as small doors begin to open. Watch as something you thought was long gone comes back around. Watch as someone you forgot about reaches out with a word, a blessing, a chance. These aren't coincidences. They're confirmations. My hand is all over this season, and you'll see it in ways both big and small. This isn't just about money. This is about your heart. About showing you that I've never once forgotten you. That your prayers were heard the first time. That even when it felt like nothing was happening, everything was moving behind the scenes. Heaven has been working on your behalf, lining things up with precision. You're going to feel lighter, not just because your situation is changing, but because your soul is beginning to trust in new ways. You're going to walk through this world differently. Your head will be higher. Your steps will be steadier. Your voice will carry peace instead of fear. Because when I move, I don't just fix, I transform. The pressure to make something happen is no longer yours to bear. I'm handling it. Your job is simply to stay close. Keep your heart open, even when it's easier to shut down. Keep speaking life, even when it feels hard. Keep trusting that the God who led you through the valley is the same one leading you to still waters. There will be moments very soon when you'll pause and realize, this used to be a place of pain, and now it's a place of peace. This used to bring you anxiety, and now it brings joy. That is how I work. I turn sorrow into dancing, mourning into singing, and lack into overflow. You've been faithful with little, and now I will trust you with more. You'll be the one who helps others without fear. You'll give freely, bless freely, speak life freely, because you'll be living in the abundance of my promises. Not only will you have enough, but you'll know how to carry it with wisdom, with humility, and with a heart that always remembers who brought you through. A 7-second brain wave ritual, once reserved for elite groups and hidden in CIA files, is now available to the public, and many call it the 30-second miracle. Scientists say it awakens a dormant brain center associated with wealth and blessings. Click the link in the comments below before it's deleted again from the internet. There is something sacred about those who keep walking when the road gets rough. You've done that. You've walked through months, maybe even years, of hardship. You've questioned how things would work out but still chose to believe. You've faced empty hands, yet your heart kept reaching for me. That kind of faith isn't small. It is powerful. It's what moves heaven on your behalf. You were never invisible to me. Not when you stayed silent about your pain. Not when you forced a smile through financial fear. Not when you gave your last bit of strength to hold others up while you were quietly breaking inside. I've seen all of it. Every decision you made to keep trusting, to keep giving, to keep praying even when nothing changed. That kind of faith never returns void. It is remembered, it is honored, and it is now being rewarded. You've been carrying the weight of so much for so long that you've almost forgotten what it feels like to walk without it. But I'm lifting it from you. Not just today, not just for a moment, but for good. You've been in a season of pruning, of pressing, of refining, and now comes the pouring. I am pouring out blessings that will restore what you lost, heal what broke, and fill every place that's been empty for too long. Comment yes if you're ready to receive the blessings God has already set in motion. You don't have to understand how it will happen. You only need to rest in the truth that I am faithful. I have never failed, and I won't start now. The blessings I'm preparing are not coming from your striving or effort, they are coming from my love for you. This next part of your journey is not about struggle. It's about receiving. You will begin to see small signs of the shift first. A peace that doesn't make sense. A message that encourages your spirit. A door that opens out of nowhere. These are not coincidences. These are glimpses of what's being released in your life. Pay attention, child. These are the early rains of a mighty outpouring. What I am doing will not just affect you. It will overflow into your home, your family, your community. You will be able to give freely and joyfully, not with hesitation, not with worry, but with peace. You've always had the heart to bless others, now I will give you the resources to match that heart. You've walked through seasons where you felt like everyone else was moving forward while you were stuck. But I haven't forgotten you. I've been preparing something unique, something personal, something only meant for you. I don't operate on the world's timeline. I move in divine timing. And my timing for you is now. This isn't just a financial breakthrough, it's a soul-level restoration. You'll feel joy again, without guilt. You'll wake up without the heaviness pressing down. You'll go through your days with ease instead of dread. That's what I'm doing. I'm rewriting your story, and the pages ahead are filled with laughter, relief, and beauty. There is no debt too big, no situation too complicated, no loss too great for me to redeem. I work beyond numbers, beyond systems, beyond limits. What looks impossible to you is easy for me. When I move, I do it completely. I don't just heal part of the wound, I restore all of it. And that is what I'm doing now. You will walk into rooms and carry peace with you. People will feel something different in your presence because you've been marked by grace. Not because life was perfect, but because my love carried you through the imperfection. Not because you always had it together, but because you trusted me even when things were falling apart.